Life is full of work and stress. Parenting can be a mess. Being a woman is hard enough without adding on that extra stuff. We'll cover topics of every kind. Helpful resources we will find. We'll even drink a bottle of wine. Join us. It will be a real good time. Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Nikki.
And welcome to Working Mom's Whine, where we drink a bottle of wine.
And whine about our crazy, busy, stressful working mom lives while wearing matching t-shirts.
That's right.
You guys might remember these from last year. Dreaming of a wine Christmas.
I feel like we're going to have to expand every year until we have multiple December shirts. We're drinking Phantom this time. Little fall leftover.
Nice and spooky.
Uh-huh. It just says it's a proprietary red. It doesn't go any further than that, so interesting. Numerous sightings have intrigued us over the years, with visions of muddy work boots and blue jeans lurking in the cellar. That's not that spooky. Okay. And many are convinced the phantom truly exists, while others remain skeptical. I almost said spectacle. Do you believe?
Believe in what? You guys haven't given us a compelling story.
I know. It says it's a hauntingly delicious blend brimming with flavors of wild berries and black pepper with toasty oak and vanilla notes. The finish lingers with you long after it's gone. That's true because I don't like the finish. Personally. Pepper?
I kind of wondered if that's the bit I don't like because I'm not a big fan of black pepper. I don't put pepper on anything.
I could see it.
Because I don't like it.
I feel like it's mostly pepper, and then you start to wonder if there really is oak and vanilla in there or if they just said that.
I feel like the oak is there, but I don't smell any vanilla.
Yeah, usually vanilla is pretty strong.
Yeah.
And this one is not.
Well,
it's fine, but it's not great.
Fail. I bought it simply off the picture on the label because I brought
the picture is cool.
Halloween.
Yeah.
And we wound up not needing to drink it because we had other stuff. And so I said, save it for the podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
Now that we've had a Halloween wine, let's talk about Christmas. My family, being just me and my daughter, my immediate family pod, we are very
Do you see how I don't rate as family anymore?
My household, how about that? That's what I'm referring to. My household.
That's better.
We follow the Disney schedule. Okay, so August 31st.
Last day of August.
Halloween decor out. Boom. Right away. And we have it all September and all of October. And then Halloween night / the next morning, usually the next morning because trick or treat.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas. Everything Halloween goes away and it goes right to Christmas. I have one Thanksgiving decoration and I do put it out. And I leave up any pumpkins that haven't rotted yet. Those little mini pumpkins are always
I have so many Thanksgiving decorations.
But I have no Thanksgiving stuff and I don't want it. I feel like it's so much effort and so much work for me to basically by myself drag up all this stuff in the basement, put it all out, put it back into containers, drag it all down. We have tons of decorations for these two holidays. So I put them out early so we can enjoy them longer.
Yeah.
And then it's longer spaces between when I have to switch it out. It's a lot of effort. I get super sweaty and disgusting doing it. So
even though I have Thanksgiving stuff out, I have also been like, well, maybe I put that out with the Christmas together.
Yeah, there is stuff you can blend. And some people even put up a tree in October and we'll decorate it as Halloween and then we'll decorate it as Thanksgiving and then we'll decorate it as Christmas. I've been that yet, but Ari has asked.
Highly considering the lights that you can just leave up year round. And we did this with a tree at work for a while. It's like I could do pastels during Easter. I could have my Halloween lights. I could have my Christmas lights. And then you don't have to go, okay, what's the one day where we're going to have good enough weather to hang the lights on the house?
That's another part of taking down Halloween and putting up Christmas is I get to put up my outdoor stuff in good weather. You know, it was right before a big rainstorm, and it's before any kind of snow or anything hits. You know, there
Yeah.
were years where it was so cold putting out the stuff in my backyard that like my fingers hurt trying to get stuff on the little
Yeah.
hooks on my fence. You know, so
I'm looking at
not on
our
my roof or nothing, but
little window right now and noticing that the neighbors still have their 12-foot skeleton up. And part of me wonders if they're going to decorate him for Christmas.
that would be great.
I know.
They do have just basic fall things in front of them, little mums and pumpkins.
I know. And literally all the other, and they went hard for Halloween.
They did.
Apparently they always do.
They had this cool thing even where there was like a button on the ground and the kids could hit the button
Yeah.
and the little animatronic would move.
Yeah. So the fact that literally everything else is gone, yet the skeleton still remains, makes me wonder.
Ari and Silas made me go back to that button before we came home that night. They didn't want to trick or treat anymore. We passed an entire street of houses that they
That's
refused
hilarious.
to go and get candy from, but they had to go hit the button on the animatronic. I was like, your house is right here. You guys have been whining for the last 10 minutes about getting to it.
That's so funny.
Oh.
I do love Christmas. I love Thanksgiving, but I love Christmas.
I like Thanksgiving. It's nice to get together and food is delicious. But it really
Food is delicious.
It is just like one day, one event, whereas Christmas has like multiple things you do throughout the month.
Right.
You know. So it does feel like in my brain it feels like I hesitate to say it, but a lesser holiday.
Sure. You want to take your time and make sure that your kids are grateful for the wonderful country that exactly. But at the same time you're already thinking, all right, we got to hit up these 5 light displays, and then we got to squeeze in the Polar Express, and then there's this visit to Santa over here, and all the shopping, which is what we're going to talk about today.
And oh my God, on the shelf.
I don't do that.
This is your pre-warning. If you're listening to this with children around, this is the time to stop.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk adult sides of things.
Yep.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Final
warning.
Eat the final piece of Halloween candy that Jack refuses to eat. Don't know why he's against peanut M&Ms, but since they aren't shaped like regular M&Ms, he thinks they're bad and he won't eat them.
Interesting.
More for me.
Go with it. So Ari this year has discovered that certain, holiday magical characters are not real. She's asked me before about things, is that real, is that not, Disney characters, stuff like that. And I usually give a generic answer of, if you believe in the magic, that's up to you. It's part of magic, whether or not you believe in it. Yeah, I've been doing that, but she pretty much straight up, clearly in the bathtub one night asked me, Mom, I don't think Santa is real. Is he real? And I said, give me just a second, because I was watching TV. It wasn't commercial break yet. She was in the bathtub. And I also...
Wait till commercial, child, and then I will ruin your dreams.
I also co-parent, and I had to make sure that somebody else was okay with me giving the real. But I always said to myself, when they specifically ask me, I'm going to tell them the truth.
Yeah.
So he, of course, was fine with it. He doesn't give a crap about that stuff and probably would have just never played the game to begin with if it wasn't for me. So I ruined it for all of them at once. Santa, the Easter Bunny, Leprechaun.
Oh, you went all the holidays.
Shelf, the Tooth Fairy. We laid it all out there.
She's like, I only wanted to know about Santa.
Not that I came out and just said all of that. She said, oh, well, if he's not, what about this? What about that? And we kind of went through everything.
Yeah, that's how I was when I found out.
Yeah.
It's like, are you telling me that so-and-so also isn't? And they were like...
She was clearly disappointed, downtrodden, sad to find out the truth that she had really pushed so hard for.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying she asked me one question and I just spilled the beans. She was pressing me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, you want to know. And I even warned her before, once you know the absolute truth, you cannot go back. So if you like the mystery of it or the unknown of it, I will stop here. But if you for sure 1,000% have to know the absolute truth, then I will tell you.
Yeah.
And she was ready for it. So I told her, and I thought to myself, I will never have to move that damn elf again. Never. I didn't want to start that in the first place. It was an boyfriend who was already doing it for his child who was with us every other weekend, so we had to kind of thing.
Yeah.
Spilled the beans, thought I was going scot-free from this responsibility. But then when we got the Christmas decorations this year and decorated our house, which we did the day after Halloween, 1, Disney does it. 2, I like having them out for longer because it feels more worth the effort. But also 3, we were on fall break and I had the actual time and energy, which is just so key.
Yes.
So I was like, we're doing it all now.
Yeah.
Before I am too wiped out by my job to do anything. Except breathe.
Yeah, that's fair.
We got it all out. And of course, part of that was unpacking the Elf on the Shelf in its little book. And now that she knows the truth, she can touch it, play with it, and all these things. So she was having fun. Then she discovered this box that I purchased last year for the first time that has preset activities you can set your elf up doing, right? It's supposed to come with all of the things to set up the scenes. This was very obviously a scam box I bought from China or something, and it had like some stuff, but other stuff was like you only really had like half the material you needed. So I used a few things, but not a lot of it. So then she decides it's going to be fun for her to. First, she tells me she wants to pretend that it's still real, so she wants me to do it anyway. And I'm like,
nope.
Super.
Nope.
Then she tells me she wants to take turns doing it for each other, so she wants me to wake up some mornings and go find the elf and figure out what's okay. Well, then she starts ripping into the box and starts setting them up. All weekend, she was setting them up in different scenes, and I would have to go on the little hunt to find the elf. And she probably used all the stuff in the box. I don't even know. But then her grandma came to visit on her dad's side, and she set up a bunch of stuff for her to find the elf, and it was just like an ongoing thing for like 3 days straight.
She's like, I have the power.
So do you remember sometimes the elf was not in a funny scene, it was just hanging from something or sitting somewhere different? That's still going to happen because Mama ain't got that time or energy. And then she was like trying to set it up in places so like we would go to bed and I would find it the next day. She's like, where can I put it that you won't see it? And I said, that's part of the problem. You realize every night I had to wait for you to go to bed and fall asleep before I could set up this elf so that you wouldn't find it in the middle of the night. I said, Mommy gets up after bed. She takes the dogs out repeatedly all night long, up and down the stairs, in and out of every room. There's nowhere you're going to put this elf that I won't see it between now and when I wake up tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing. So then she wants to start playing with it, and I tell her, you know, part of the responsibility of knowing the truth is keeping the magic alive for those who don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's not our time, place, or decision for when other kids learn the truth.
Right.
That's between them and their parents. So you have to pretend from now on to anyone who asks that is absolutely a real thing. And you have to go with the stories that are being told. So she wants to play with them. And then she sees some kid running outside and she's like, can I take my elf? And I said, no. Because you don't know if they know about the elf, if they do the elf, if they know the truth or not. You can't open that can of worms. So then she says, he has his elf. Sure enough, there's some little kid younger than her running around outside, carrying around one of the elves. And part of the elf lore is that you can't touch them or they lose their magic.
Yeah.
Right? So she says, he must know the truth. And I said, okay, but don't go out there assuming that he knows the truth. Yeah. Some parents tell their kids things like, all you have to do is sprinkle them with cinnamon and they get their magic back.
Yeah.
So maybe they let them play with it a little bit. You know, you don't know what they've been told. So you don't offer anything. You let them tell you what it is they think.
Yeah.
And sure enough, this kid's sibling came out and they had like 5 different elves. He's like, we found different ones at the flea market. So I guess people are like selling them at the flea market as toys.
They just decide to like adopt every poor elf that doesn't have a home.
They had like 5 of them.
That's crazy.
So, and all different ones, not just the one that you see at Target.
Yeah.
You know? So Ari has 2 because that cheap China box I bought came with a weird looking elf in it, and I never used it because I thought it was kind of creepy looking. Mm-hmm. But Ari wanted to play with them when she saw him. So she goes out with her elves, and sure enough, the little kid tells her something like his mom said they could sprinkle him with cinnamon before Christmas and he gets magic back. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, you just go along with whatever they say. And if someone straight up asks you, you know, what about your elf? What are you going to say to them? And she said, I'm going to tell them that this is a toy version that my mom bought on eBay. And I said, okay. Works for me.
Yeah, that's not the real. This isn't the real elf.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of Christmas adventures already, and it's not even like the 10th of November yet.
That's
It's the
hilarious.
9th.
I remember when you guys put the elf into a backpack to go walk the lights with us.
Yeah, we bought a clear backpack, and that's one of the ideas I saw online. And we put the elf. We let him show up one day in a clear backpack, so the kid can take him wherever they want. So like, I think the first year I was still with that guy, and maybe it was him that knew about that or thought
Yeah.
about that. But we went to the magic house with the kids, and we let the elf go in the backpack. So that was pretty fun.
Nice.
And then yeah, last year we did a Christmas lights walkthrough, and the elf came with us. I was just talking to a friend of mine who, now that I think about it, I don't know if he has it currently or had it before, but is into convertibles, Corvettes, and had or has, I'm not sure, he recently changed cars, but a convertible version. We were talking about Christmas lights, and he was like, it's really fun if the weather isn't too bad, is to go with the top down
Right.
and drive through one of those things. And I was like, that sounds amazing.
When do you start Christmas shopping?
Oh, I started probably
Months
in
ago.
September. Yeah. Sometimes I try to buy little things along the way.
Yeah, I
I
do the
see
same thing.
But I also, with the kids, I try not to buy everything up front because I feel like their tastes change so fast
That's fair.
that it's like if I buy something in September that Silas likes, he won't like it in December.
Dude, Silas will move the fastest in and out of a fandom.
He's the worst.
Yes, he's so bad.
But
he keeps telling me about what he wants for his birthday, and I'm like, whoa, bud, let's wait till February 1st, like a week before your actual birthday, and then we'll see if you're still into that.
And Ari likes to make an Amazon list, which is great because then when every year, every single family member comes out of the woodwork, what does Ari want? And I can just send them this link.
I need to make my kids make a list.
But she changes what's on it all the time, and then I think there was a point where the list got too empty because it had been used for her birthday, but it wasn't replenished for Christmas yet. So we had to go on and find a bunch of other stuff to put on there. But then it starts feeling like this is just random stuff we're putting on here.
Sure. And eventually you get tired of the things.
Yes. I want less things.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, we're trying to go to Disney. It'd be great if opening a Disney gift card on Christmas was as exciting as a toy.
Right.
Like, nobody wants to give the gift cards because it's not as exciting.
Right.
It's getting something active to play with. And you want your kid to have those. I remember coming out and seeing a pile of stuff for me. Like, that was exciting.
Yeah.
So it's hard to balance, but
Brandon and I were talking about that today.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
interrupt you.
But we were unpacking to an extent, and then we kind of reached this stagnation point. And some of it was all the illness and what holidays and whatever. But some of it was just, we've unpacked some of the shelves, but not all of the shelves. And so you start to unpack the things that go in the shelves. And then eventually you're like, I don't want to unpack all these boxes because they're just going to end up all over the house. And I'd rather put them where they're going to belong. So we were talking about that today. And I was just like, we need to be careful. Like, some of these things in the garage I've specifically put in a certain pile because it's meant to be a garage sale thing. Or maybe we need to be going to the kids before every Christmas and saying, okay, what are you not playing with? What can we donate before you get your new toys? When we packed our shoe boxes for the kids overseas, I always buy them things to put in there, like toothpaste and toothbrushes and a fun item, and I'll do pens and notepads and whatever. Eliana went up to her room, got a stuffy that's still in really good shape that she no longer uses, and was like, can I pack this? And I was like, please, God, yes, get this out of my house. So, yeah, some of them are better about it than others, but
we did the shoebox too.
Yeah, but one of the things is I'm always telling people, I know it's not a toy, but maybe a membership to the zoo or a gift card for the movie theater.
An experience.
Yes, things we can consume.
And then I realized the other night that there was an experience gift that I could have been telling people that I didn't think about in time, and I happen to know that grandparents have already
done stuff.
Yeah. So I'm like,
I haven't done anything yet.
Well, I would like her to take jiu-jitsu classes, and they're very expensive.
I could maybe pay for one.
Right. It's not something you'd want to pay for a whole
I feel like,
month or a
too,
whole season of. But
and even though that one's
little
an
gift cards could
experience,
stack up.
yeah, and even though that's an experience gift, like you could wrap that in a way that it's exciting. She knows she's getting a jujitsu lesson.
Yeah.
You know.
Think of, like, what are those little outfits they wear? I could buy one
Oh,
of
the
those, wrap it-
geese.
Yeah.
I don't know if they call it that in everything, but
I'm pretty sure this place, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've seen pictures of the little girls in hot pink geese.
nice.
So she would like that. But I would very much, in this day and age, like her to know how to defend herself.
Yeah.
And the school is very well respected and very close to our home. So
Yeah.
thought about it, but haven't taken the plunge of stopping dance and starting that because I definitely can't afford to do both at once.
Oh, I know.
I mean, dance is expensive, and this thing is like time and a half of that. So,
Martial arts is very expensive.
but my kid, love her. She's incredible. She did not inherit my ballet grace. She didn't. She's very gangly and she has a lot of goofy fun, and she tries very hard, but she very much doesn't have that natural, flowy.
When you look her in the face, she is your child. When you look
face
at
is all
her
me. The body is all Dan.
body, yes, she's very much her father's child.
Unflexible, gangly.
Little beanpole.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just think to myself, dance is great to teach coordination and all kinds of other skills, and she's done it for like 3 years now. It might be time to explore other things that her height might give her an advantage in, like volleyball or basketball or swimming or self-defense jiu-jitsu kind of things.
And you can tell her too, like, we can go check these things out, and if you ever want to go back to dance, you can.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been saying to my kids is like, I have one that has been dancing for a while, likes soccer, also has started really getting into track.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know that soccer was fun for you. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to be a pro soccer player.
Right.
But you're running back and forth all the time.
Yep.
And maybe that encourages your stamina development and your love for track and all of that. So now we're going to shift into track.
Skills.
Exactly.
Skills you get from these things, even if it's not going to be the thing that gets you
Exactly.
a college scholarship.
So, like, maybe she tries the jiu-jitsu thing for a bit. Maybe she goes back to dance and maybe she doesn't.
Yeah. I keep trying to go back to how I felt as a kid when I was torn between dance and gymnastics. Dance is what I was very good at. Gymnastics is what I enjoyed. And my parents let me drop dance and go into gymnastics. And a lot of people would argue that that's a bad decision because I could have gone further with dance than I ever got with gymnastics. But I still took gymnastics and was able to use it in college to get us a small scholarship that almost covered my room and board.
Yeah.
But, it's really hard as a parent to not think in that way. Like, what's going to get my child further in life as opposed to what brings them joy and what do they enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So I keep trying not to, focus too much on that.
Yeah.
But
I feel like
hard. You think, man, this is not my kid's talent. This is not where they're going to go far, so I should encourage other things and try other things. But she likes the friends that she's met at this place, and so she wants to be with them. And I get that.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like part of it for us too is like, and I'm just speaking for myself, but you can tell me if you feel the same way. But when you were growing up, if you had a, let's say, out there dream, it was immediately like, nope, you gotta get a real job. And with my kids, I've been trying to be like, I'm not going to tell you can't, but I am going to tell you that unless you have a very specific network, that chances are you're not going to get into the things that you want to do because it's a very small amount of people that actually get to do this professionally. So maybe we develop these skills on the side, but we also do something else as our main job until if and when this takes off. Not a no, you cannot pursue it, but a realistically, this is what it's going to look like if you do pursue it, and I do recommend that you have a day job at the same time. Like, it's not as big of a thing, and it's getting harder and harder. Like, yes, you could go on Amazon or whatever. But Amazon's like the same old stuff all the time. It's
Right.
getting more difficult to buy presents, to find presents that you want
Unique things.
to buy. Exactly. So the same old cheap toy.
Yeah.
So I got really lucky this year. I feel like I have. So back in the day, I would do these groups where, like, if you wanted to make sure you had sales with your side hustle every few months, you could agree to like you buy from someone, and then the next month you buy from someone else, and then the next month they all buy from you.
Mhm.
And it was a way to make sure that you would meet your quotas in businesses that had a quota. But I would use that to save back for holidays. So
Yeah.
like there was one person that I bought jewelry from, and not like this $5 stuff, but like not like Swarovski or Park Lane or whatever. And so I saved a lot of that back. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to use it. Like some of the younger cousins have their ears pierced now, and I can give them the earrings or whatever. So combinations of like stuff that I have had, or like the gourmet tea that I have. And then like I get on Prime Day and I find the perfect sweater, nice sweater for this one girl that I knew she would love. And I found there's another cousin that she's got a lot of the same interests that I had when I was her age. So I picked up this book that I was like, if I was her age, I would love to read this book, and I'm hoping it pays off. So we're gonna find out. Yes. So I picked her up. It's a very like Hunger Games-ish book, but a little different.
Okay.
I actually kind of want to read it myself.
Love me some
And it's a
Hunger Games.
gorgeous, like the artwork on it is pretty, and then the side pages have painting on them, so it's just a gorgeous book
Have you
overall.
ever read the Divergent series, like the actual books?
Yes.
So good.
I feel like I own that.
When
Maybe
I
I don't.
watched, or when I read the last book,
I got mad.
oh, I
Won't lie.
was angry.
I hate how she ended that.
I do too, but I also loved it because it was a full circle moment. But I remember being just so flabbergasted reading it, and I was on my friend's couch. I was reading it on my Kindle.
Yeah.
And I had gone to hang out with her, but she was still finishing, like, getting ready for the day. So I was just on her couch reading this book.
Yeah.
And I was just exclaiming things out loud. What? No! Oh my God! Don't do it! You know, he's not worth it. All those kinds of things.
I feel like that's how I was when I was
So
texting.
good.
When I was finishing, what's the last one I had you read?
Oh. It's not the Thursday Murder Club. It's the one before that. By Fihihini.
Yeah.
Oh, Rock, Paper, Scissors.
Yeah, Rock,
by
Paper,
Alice
Scissors.
Feeney.
So I was reading Rock, Paper, Scissors, and I got within like the last half to last quarter of the book, and I just started texting my friend like, oh, here's my theory so far. Okay, now this is what I'm thinking. And then I got to the very end where like you know part of what happens with the accident, but not all of what happens with the accident. I was like, well, at least I was right about that. And then you read the last chapter, and I was like, no, I was not. So,
and then you send it to your sister and make her read it, and I pretty much just live updated my whole way through the book.
It was great. I loved it.
Because I blazed through it in a day on audiobook.
You
because
can't
I was on break.
not. Like, that's what, I read one chapter while I was waiting for Eliana to get out of running club. And then the night I told you to read it, I had read the entire rest of the book that evening.
Yes. It's good.
It's good.
If you need a book recommendation,
it's a good one. I think that one and Never Lie might be my favorite.
She was like, here's the name of the book, and I Googled it in my library app, and I was like, the one by
and then I found a
GIF of Eric saying that.
We're gonna have a problem. You say GIF.
90s children's GIF, whatever.
I know.
I might say it different ways every time I say it. So.
You probably do, honestly. But yeah, it's a pretty good book.
It was pretty good. I just finished today Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. And I had never heard of her, but I ran across her randomly on my TikTok For You page. And she is a person, is hilarious, as is her husband.
Yeah, that's what everyone in my book club was saying.
So I watch her TikToks all the time, and I think she's funny, but I never actually went on to read her books after finding her. And then I think it was this summer I read one of her books. And the twist at the end got me. It got me good. And I was like, okay, all right, I see you. I will now start reading your books. So then I listened to another one. I say read. I do all audiobooks. I do not have time to sit my bottom down and open a book and read it. I just don't. So I listen to audiobooks because I drive my child a 40-minute commute back and forth to her dad's a couple times a week.
Yeah.
So that's
You've
when I
got a
do
lot
most
of
of my
time for
book
that.
stuff. But
It's good.
so good.
But after you experience things like Never Lie and Rock, Paper, Scissors, I look at that and I was like, that was okay.
Never Lie was so good.
Never Lie was very good. That was the first book I've ever read where I truly did not see anything coming. And when they reveal the initial twist, I was just like, I had never been so shocked in my life. Never. It's a good book.
It is a good book.
Maybe that's what we need to do is start like talking
Book
about
club.
books. I feel like I've got
Whichever
11
of the
or
two
12.
big gifts you've decided to give him.
Yeah. 11 or 12 people left. But that doesn't include like I'd like to buy something for my boss. Like stuff
I
like
got
that.
something for Ari's teacher, but not her ballet teacher.
Oh yeah, teachers.
something
I'm
for
not
the bus
including
driver.
teachers.
Her bus driver is very just so sweet and involved with these children.
So here's what's really nice. When they move up to middle school and have a million teachers, that's when I just started buying the $5 Starbucks and Target cards, and I'm like, just hand one to every teacher.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they get tired of getting, I mean, the crafts and things are cute, but there's only so much space in your house to put those things in.
Right.
So I do think, like, for Ari's kindergarten teacher, we bought her a coffee mug, and I thought she probably has a million coffee mugs, and then we filled up with her favorite candy, and I thought if she wants to ditch the coffee mug, she can.
Last year, at the craft show that shall not be named, I found this booth.
We're grieving.
Yeah, I found this booth where they had spa stuff, like
I was
milk
gonna get
bath
Ari
stuff.
some bath bombs this
Yeah.
year.
So I made like this little relaxing spa basket and a funny little poem about how I know they say my kids are sweet, but I know they need to relax kind of a deal. And so I gave them the spa basket with this like hilarious 4-line like poem thing. So can't do that this year.
I did find something cute for Ari's teacher this year on Etsy. It's this little crocheted, it's a little flower pot with a sunflower coming out of it, and it's all crochet. And it holds a little sign that says something like, thanks for helping me grow, or something like that.
That's cute.
That's so cute.
Have you
I know this
seen?
is just another thing to sit on a shelf, but it's so
Have you
cute.
seen the if you give a teacher a cookie thing?
No.
So it's like they make it like a little booklet, like if you give a mouse a cookie. And it's like
Yeah.
if you give a teacher a cookie, then she might need a drink to go with it, Starbucks card. And while she's getting her drink, she might want to go shopping, Target card. And while she's shopping, she's going to see some cute little pens, 4-pack of like gel glitter pens. And it just keeps going. And then it ends with her wanting a cookie like the normal book does, and then they gave them like a Crumble gift card. So I was like, all of these ideas are so super
Do
cute.
you buy that all put together already, or do you have to make it?
You probably could. Well, I don't know, because some of it is like,
Personal.
well, like Reese's and things that would like go bad.
Perishable.
If you guys have shopping
old.
tips, now that malls don't exist as much as they used to, we're getting tired of Amazon.
I'm tired of only going to Target. I won't set foot in a Walmart unless I absolutely have to.
I have personal vendettas against Walmart, and even if I didn't, they screw things up so often that why give them your business?
I just do grocery pickup if I have to do it, and it's like I do Aldi most of the time, and then every once in a while I have to do Walmart because Aldi doesn't sell the right kind of wine or the right kind of certain things my kid likes.
Well, and I love that I'll get on my high horse about Walmart, but I'm going to Sam's.
And they're owned by the same people.
Yep, same family.
You know, we just do what we can.
Yeah. Sam's.
Every small decision counts. Even
Sam's
if
has
not
cheap
Walmart,
tuna.
but it's Sam's.
What are you gonna do? And every once in a while, I can get Celsius there real cheap. So.
Do you have any plans for a Santa picture visit?
That's a good question. So.
Because we could do that at the craft show that isn't happening anymore.
Yeah, they had a Santa too.
He was great. He was very interactive, and there was never a line.
Sometimes I pay and we go to a studio and we get stuff because I still send out Christmas cards because I like doing Christmas cards.
I'm too lazy. Sorry, guys.
Well, I think the majority of the world does not do Christmas cards now. but I still think it's fun. And there was one year, it was the last year we went to Disney. I just took some pictures from the vacation and we used that. Sometimes I go to studios, sometimes I don't. However, this year we are going to I can't remember if it's the 20th or the 25th anniversary. I think it's the 20th anniversary of the Polar Express. And it's not the nice Branson one, it's the St. Louis one. But I did splurge on dome cars, and they do usually have like some photo ops there, so maybe we'll do that. What about you? You got plans?
No, we don't really do an annual Santa picture. We got the one year she was a baby and we went with you to Tara's.
And we don't always involve
And it
Santa.
was
Like
Santa
sometimes
and
we
Elsa.
just take like a family picture.
So then one year we went to the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party all together, and the kids went and saw
I don't
Santa.
think I ordered anything.
So we got a picture then.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I have not taken her to sit on Six Slap. It's not been a thing for us.
I don't always make a point to. We do
get it.
see Santa at some point,
Yeah.
but the family picture may not have Santa in it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, I got a Prime package just now. The timing.
The Prime truck just drove by my house, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I'd ordered anything, and she
And
gets
then my
a
doorbell
delivery.
went off and said, "You got the delivery."
And she doesn't live near me, so it wasn't that truck. It was great seeing you guys again. You can always find us on workingmomswine.com, patreon.com/workingmomswine, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, all the socials.
Blah blah blah.
Yes, all the socials except for X because it was already taken and we don't care anyway. Elon is a tool.
X is the worst.
Anyway, have a good one. Bye.